Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
Hello, good day everyone. Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music programs. Thank you for joining us for this 3rd session of the finals of colORCHESTRA and Carnegie Hall Auditions. Our channel is dedicated to bringing live performances and events from international artists to the audiences around the globe. I'm Anna Uspinskaya and I'll be hosting this session for you today. We are presenting the Carnegie and colORCHESTRA Gala Auditions. Musicians who will be performing today on this session are auditioning for various opportunities. First of all, of course, to perform at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall in the next season, which will have 7 concerts presented at this wonderful venue, and also for colORCHESTRA seasons for performing with Orchestras Worldwide. And yes, we take musicians from the virtual stage of these auditions to the coveted stages of Carnegie Hall and many other wonderful venues around the world. So auditionees from many countries today are seeking guidance and support from the judges who are members of our wonderful judges panel through the live comments, which you will hear right after their performances. There's no filtering. It's all right there in the moment. Whatever the judges feel may help musicians grow, they will share. And of course, I want to thank all the co-organizers and helpers and our wonderful partners who are working real hard on organizing those auditions as well as those wonderful opportunities. And I want to mention, of course, the ArtistVenture. This is a company which organizes events, tours, and festivals and other presentations of live music all over the world. Virtual Concert Halls is an internet broadcaster providing artists with a virtual stage and ability to reach audiences beyond the walls of conventional concert halls. Progressive Musicians is an organizer of many competitions and concerts at prestigious venues like Carnegie Hall. Price Attractions is an artist advocate, artist management company, which is presenting artists and helping them connect with other presenters and the orchestras around the world. Vocal Arts Management focuses on casting singers for the opera houses around the world. And Cicerone Music and Arts is a boutique publisher of classical music in Switzerland and Italy, and collaborating with us on presenting new releases of albums. The Sound Espressivo Global Competition is an online live streamed competition. It combines the competitiveness and this environment with future for musicians for live performance in concert halls, and combine it with the hybrid presentations with the virtual presentations as well. And this is how we started.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
And with these humble beginnings, we are expanding our reach by expanding the virtual stage to many, many platforms and channels all over. If you missed us on Instagram, go to YouTube, we're there, or Twitch, Vimeo, and many other platforms, as well as many platforms which are safe for people to see the content which is curated for its quality in many different countries. And for these auditions, we set a goal to encourage, to nurture, and to reward musicians who are taking proactive approach to their development and their careers. Together, we are providing these opportunities for musicians to have a chance to discover their own unique voice, to connect with the audience, to connect with presenters, managers, and other people who are working really hard cultivating the field of live concert presentation and music.
Perform on our gala at Carnegie Hall. Auditions for the 2024-2025 season will be happening soon. We have opportunities for composers to have their works premiered and professionally recorded with the Leonard String Quartet, opportunities to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players and Orchestra Manhattan. Composers may also submit their scores to be premiered by these two fabulous orchestras. Solo opportunities, chamber music opportunities, and opportunities for large ensembles as well. Receive evaluations from the finest musicians, have a press interview, be featured on our daily internet TV show, receive certificates, medals, and a video of your performance, and have opportunities for many other awards. Applications are currently available on our website. Don't miss out on your opportunity to present your music on this world-renowned stage. We look forward to hearing your performances.
We believe in supporting each other and cultivating each other's paths towards our goals. So the restrictions kind of don't fit into that model. There are no restrictions to any age, repertoire choice, and there's no restriction to how many auditions the artist can take with us. So we are here to create the opportunities for every stage of development and every aspiration of the artist who wants to step on and share their art. Yes, this is our current season, and we're expanding the season in 24-25 and 25-26. So there's a lot of concerts around the world. Please check our websites. And don't forget, we have additional packages of awards you see on the screen. These are our collaborators, wonderful companies led by real enthusiasts of bringing more music and more great music to the venues and the orchestras, providing scholarships, opportunities to record and publish their albums, opportunities to have professional management given to them, and cash awards, opportunities for younger musicians to attend prestigious and very wonderful professional festivals, and many, many other awards, including stepping on the virtual stage and presenting your concerts and learning how to connect with the virtual audience and so forth. Those opportunities are endless. Please check all the tabs on our websites and take a bit of a time to learn so that you find out what fits your current goals the best. And not to mention all the hybrid concerts, which we are producing together with many concert venues and orchestras. In fact, our team just came back from a trip to Cairo, Egypt, and Zlin in Czechia, presenting concerts with the winners of the previous colORCHESTRA auditions, who were performing with the Cairo Opera Orchestra in the opera main stage of the Opera Theater. It's a gorgeous stage, by the way. And also in Zlin at the Government Center with the Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic Orchestra, also beautiful stage and wonderful orchestras, both of them. So this is the hybrid internet TV productions which we pioneering and promoting for everyone to try out, because you will reach many people who are interested, who you haven't known because they're in different countries. Yeah, we're doing a lot of different things, and I just want to briefly mention the music and musicians around the globe. This is our own series of presentations. We are live daily, and we invite people to be guests on those programs. We invite conductors, presenters, producers, performers, educators, leaders of various music organizations, conservatories, and so forth, publishers and recording companies, to put together our knowledge, expertise, and experience, and to help each other grow and develop in this new and, quite frankly, very confusing world of a mix, the in-person physical venue and events, and virtual, and the merge between the two, which are the hybrid events. Like today's event is a hybrid event because it's both physical. Our candidates are performing or they've recorded some of their presentations in the actual physical venues, and we will have them all come together and discuss their presentations, their performances with the wonderful members of our jury panel. And by the way, if you missed the deadline, don't worry. We have the next sequence of the auditions coming up in June. And like I mentioned, we are auditioning musicians for the performances at the Weill Recital Hall at the Carnegie Hall with 2 orchestras in the next season. The New York Chamber Players Orchestra, a veteran of our presentations, that will be their 3rd season with us. And by the way, we have their music director judging the auditions today. And we also have Orchestra Manhattan joining us for the next season with their music director, David Wroe, who was judging for us a couple of days ago on Friday. And this is what you see on the screen are the orchestras which are joining the colORCHESTRA project. Again, we are auditioning people for these performances, and we are very proud to announce that we just had the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and Gevorg Novak joining this particular project. And we have, you can see the Lviv Ukrainian Orchestra, we have Slovak Sinfonietta with Oliver Dakhnani joining us, we have Paducah Symphony and Raffaele Ponti, their music director, joining this project. We have Boulder Symphony and Music Academy with Devin Patrick Hughes, who is the leader of that orchestra, and we have Butler Philharmonic and Scott Woodard, who is also going to be judging. He's a member of our panel and will be judging today's audition. We have the Philharmonic Orchestra in Philippines joining us, and our veteran of the colORCHESTRA, Western New York Chamber Orchestra with Glenn Cortese, music director, and another veteran of our programs, the conductor Gevorg Sargsyan, who was leading the presentation of the colORCHESTRA winners with Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic. And we have, this is our Cairo Opera Orchestra, who will be a part of the program for the next season. And these are the amazing world-class conductors who are also adding their energy, expertise, and their desire to help nurture the soloists and composers. They're presenting new names, new soloists, and of course also welcoming submissions for compositions by living composers. So this is a very, very exciting project, and we are very proud to have extremely high level of auditionees who applied, and it was very difficult for the panel to choose the finalists, and today we will be presenting the finalists. Now, without any further ado, I would like to start inviting our wonderful judges, members of the judges panel, who will be adjudicating and sharing their expertise and their feedback with the auditionees today. First of all, I would like to invite on screen to join me here Dickran Atamian, also go by Richie. His career evolved from the highly excitable young artist into the maturity of a statesman of the instrument, where his prodigious technical prowess was fused with rare musical acumen to deliver electrifying performances and landmark recordings. After wielding his pianistic phenomenon on international stages and through multitude of recordings with the world's top orchestras around the entire world, with conductors and artists, Atamian has emerged as an artist advocate and manager, and in that role he is known under the trade name of Jack Price, who is the founder of the Price Attractions and our wonderful collaborators. We are very grateful for this collaboration. Dickran is a concert management his company's headquarters in Tulsa, Oklahoma, with affiliates in many different cities and different parts of the world. And Dickran lives there with actively engaged in the career of the artist who he manages, and he lives there with his two children, Sean and Anne Rose. So Dickran, it's a great pleasure to have you back judging with us. Thank you for making time.
Thanks. And I've never heard anyone read that entire thing.
Well, I left out about 9/10 of it. People will need to go on your website to learn more.
You're really good at paraphrasing, you know. I like that. No, it's a pleasure to be here. This is an incredible format, you know, and it's been what a ride. That's all I could say. It's like a roller coaster. It's really phenomenal.
Okay, and I would like to invite the conductor and the Vart Andrusyan to join us in the studio. Ms. Andrusyan, after studying choir conducting in Yerevan with a wonderful conductor Herman Terterian, and orchestra opera conducting in the Conservatory of Paris, and conducting contemporary music with Pierre Blaise and Peter Utvos. She has been assistant conductor in Paris Grand Opera of Christophe von Dohnanyi, Daniel Barenboim, Herbert von Karajan, and she was a prize winner of a young conductors competition in Bissau. The same year, she was invited to become the artistic director and the chief conductor of the French contemporary music, a contemporary music expert ensemble Polychromy, and the Polychromy Festival invited her to lead those two organizations. She has been a contemporary music interpreter and promoter for 50 years. Navart, you don't look old enough to be doing it for 50 years, but here we are. Her love for music and travel has combined when she was invited to become conductor at the Armenian National Opera and a chief conductor of the Tianjin Symphony Orchestra in China. Navart, what a great pleasure to have you back adjudicating for us.
Well, it's very nice to be with you. It's really very important for me to pass my experience to young musicians. And as a former teacher of chamber music, I see that really there is a very big potential, and I'm so glad to be again with you.
Thank you so much. We're really honored to have you with us. Thank you. And I would like to invite Scott Woodard, the conductor. He is the music director of the West Virginia State Philharmonic Orchestra and the Butler Philharmonic Orchestra. And I am so proud to announce that the Butler Philharmonic Orchestra agreed to join the colORCHESTRA project in helping present the winners of the colORCHESTRA auditions in the following seasons. Mr. Woodward's study and pursuit of conducting has taken him all over the world. Past podiums include guest conductor of the Macon Symphony Orchestra, associate conductor and cover conductor of the West Virginia Symphony Orchestra, finalist in the Pittsburgh Philharmonic Orchestra conductor search. Try doing that. You're competing with top conductors all over the world. No age restrictions, by the way. Future conducting opportunities of Mr. Woodward include guest conducting with the Ohio Valley Symphony Orchestra, and he was named the first prize winner of the International Conductors Workshop competition, the first prize at the International Academy of Advanced Conducting in St. Petersburg, Russia. That's my alma mater, and where you are now a faculty member of the Academy. Congratulations, that's a wonderful, fine institution. And celebrate guest artists with who you worked include Victoria Fatu, Romanian violinist Gabriel Krichuru, Israeli tenor Michael Riskin, and many, many others. Your primary teachers, and I love to read those names because these are wonderful people. Leonid Korchmar of the Mariinsky Theater and the St. Petersburg Conservatory, and Dr. Oleg Proskuria, with whom you studied the methods of the Leningrad School of Conducting, developed and taught by, I love this name, and the person, Maestro Ilya Musin at the Leningrad Conservatory. He is the father of the entire St. Petersburg and Leningrad School of Conducting. You really had those roots in something I love dearly. So you're currently the director of the instrumental music at West Virginia State University Institute in West Virginia, where you conduct the West Virginia State Philharmonic and teach advanced conducting. So you're conductor, you're educator, and everything. Welcome. This is a great pleasure to have you here for the first time, and hopefully for many, many more times to come.
Thank you so much, Anna. I'm so pleased to be here and pleased to be included in this program. And again, delighted to be amongst this esteemed panel of judges. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. We're so proud to have you. And the last but not least is a veteran of our programs. I would like to introduce Maestro Giacomo Franchi, who is the artistic director and the conductor of the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. And this organization was founded 20 years ago in 2004. And for the more recent seasons, Maestro Franchi was elected guest maestro of Escuela and Dirección de Orchestra in Corboda in Spain, and you're renowned for as a leading interpreter of the music of Copland. You earned highly coveted position based on the merits of your acclaimed world premiere recording, the complete edited piano works by Copland. As a pianist, you recorded many CDs, and also the Stravinsky, the complete published piano works. This was released by Phone Classics. In 2016, you started the recordings of complete piano sonatas of Beethoven and Shiva on Shiva Collection record company. So you debuted at the Carnegie Hall many years ago with the Italian Music magazine compared you to Glenn Gould and Arturo Benedetti Michelangeli. And now you're a prominent presence at the Carnegie Hall with your wonderful ensemble, supporting and helping young musicians to try their skills at connecting with the very sophisticated audience in New York from the stage of the Carnegie Hall. Welcome back. It's a great, great honor and pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you, Anna. It's an honor, and it's very exciting also. Everything. Every time I come back here, it's like there now also the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Okay. That's good.
Good company to be with. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So without any further ado, I would like to start inviting the candidates for the Carnegie and colORCHESTRA auditions to present your artistry in front of our wonderful members of the judges panel. And the first musician I would like to invite on stage, Alexandra Lynch, soprano. She will be performing a soprano aria from Joshua by Handel, or Hedai Jubil's Lyre. Welcome on stage, it's all yours. you, Alexandra, for your pure and beautiful voice as an opening act of our auditions. And now we have judges here, and Alexandra is here also in the studio. Let's start with our veteran, Maestro Franchi. Let's have you comment first.
I enjoyed your singing. It's a nice timbre of the voice. The aria was pretty short, so maybe I don't know if we could have had another aria, but I think your singing was very good. Little criticism. I was thinking in the coloratura. I'm not a singer, so I don't know well the technique of singing, but I think that the vowel when you I don't think it's easy to articulate well that, because you don't have words there that you could articulate better the sounds. So it was a little bit the articulation, but the intonation was pretty good according to me. Brava, and the timbre of your voice is beautiful, and the repertoire also is. I think it's good for your voice.
Thank you.
Brava.
Okay, now let's have Dickran step in, and if you would like to add something.
I enjoyed it very much, Alexandra. The voice is very clear, very crystalline. You don't have a lot of histrionics going on, which is good, in my opinion. Although you could be, I would say, more yourself, and you could be more free with your singing. More impetuous possibly, but the style, of this repertoire, historically would be, hey, let's be really uptight. I wouldn't do that. I would let loose a little bit. There's, but I mean, that's still, it's within the framework of a very good voice. You've been trained really well. The one criticism that I would make, and it's not really a criticism and it's easily fixed, is that people tend to, in any instrumentation, I mean, whether it's voice, piano, even conductors are guilty of this. We're all guilty of this, is these various tempos that don't have a tempo character that relates to each other. So in other words, sometimes when the passages get difficult, you slow down. That's okay if it's the right character, and there's like in a Brahms concerto when you're bridging moods. I'm thinking of the last movement of the D minor piano concerto where it goes into F major. It's like a whole new world opening up. It's blossoming. It's a different deal. But when you're just slowing down because it's hard or it's laborious or what have you, this is problematic, and especially if you're playing with an orchestra or even an accompanist. If you notice, like when you would slow down a bit, the pianist would zip it back up. Perhaps you can rehearse with the pianist and make sure, that doesn't really happen. The moods are bridged smoothly, that kind of thing. Yeah, don't just, no dramatic. I mean, in this repertoire, it depends on the piece, but everything depends. That's the big word, right? The operative word is depends. Everything depends on everything. But I wouldn't slow down that much, or take a tempo that's a little bit more comfortable to execute the entire work, okay? So you don't want to have these little awkward moments. But otherwise, I think you're on your way to, you're very young, and, the voice will blossom. I think it's a good voice. I liked it. It's very clear. I like that.
Thank you
Wonderful.
so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Navarre, would you like to add something?
No, I'm agree with Dickran, but I would like to say something, that the voice is very young. It's very beautiful, but it's very young. The technique, vocal technique is very young. Sometimes there is no real support to the voice with the muscles, yeah, and that's why you slow down in the da 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 at the passage, which must be in the tempo, I'm agree with Dickran, or you begin with a less faster tempo from the beginning, and you can manage it until the end without changing the tempo. You have two possibilities, or you work very hard to
To
make
get faster.
your muscles, yeah, and you wait to be mature to sing like this hard pieces. This is not an easy piece, yeah.
Oh no,
But
not
the
at all.
voice,
That's...
the voice is very clear. It's transparent. It's very good, very beautiful. Try to sing. I suppose you are very young. Try to sing less difficult pieces as aria antique, yeah. You can prove yourself and learn to sing 16 notes, which is not easy for singers.
Yes.
Thank you, Navarre, very much.
Thank you.
Scott, would you like to add something to the commenting?
Yes, thank you.
Please.
Ms. Lynch, thank you so much for bringing your audition to us today. It was a privilege to hear it. I agree with the comments of the panel thus far. I think you have potentially a marvelous voice, and there's plenty of time to grow and blossom into your own voice. Some of the things that stuck out to me, Hondo is difficult, and so much melisma, and to support through that, to focus it to the end of that particular line, I think is paramount to a great performance. So if that air support, I'm not a singer either, but I'm a trumpet player, so I know a little bit about air. So to support it to the end of that melisma, that sustain at the end of it, I think will be very beneficial to you. Dickran said something that I agree with as well. I certainly would never suggest to romanticize this genre of music or anything like that, but just a little, think about stage presence as you come out, and just, he said, be yourself, and I agree with that completely. We don't necessarily want to see a performer on the stage who's so stiff that I know I can see in your face there's some life and some spirit in you, and that can come through with the music, even Baroque music, that can come through. But it's a lovely quality of voice, and I think it has great potential.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alexandra, do you have any questions for the members of the panel?
Well, thank you so much for all your comments, first of all. It's very helpful. And I think I understood everything, all the comments and everything.
Wonderful. It's lovely to have you with us in this finals of the auditions, and I want to just underscore everyone loves your beautiful, beautiful, pure voice and your aspiration to be a singer. I think it's totally supported by your wonderful talent. So thank you very much, and we'll say goodbye to Alexandra. We'll be inviting on stage our next candidate, the finalist of the colORCHESTRA and Carnegie Auditions, Andrew White. Will be performing Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov's concert fantasy for based on two Russian themes for violin and orchestra. So Andrew, the stage is all yours. Thank you very much, Andrew, for bringing this rarely performed piece. What a thick score for the orchestra, typical Russian overloaded score. I want to commend your wonderful accompanist. That's a great ensemble and wonderful support here provided you with. I wish we had known the name. And if you can provide it, we'll put it on the screen. Okay, to the judges now. Scott, would you like to be first?
Certainly, thank you. Mr. White, is he with us? I can't see him on the screen. Is he with us?
He's not in the studio.
Okay.
But
Well,
I'm sure he's watching, so you can address him directly.
okay, very good. Well, thank you so much for playing, and thank you for bringing your audition to us. It's I adore Rimsky, so this is something that was right up my alley, as they say in my part of the country. But in the beginning, I thought there was some wonderful things happening, some nice purity of sound in the opening. There were, in terms of some constructive criticism, there were some pitch problems in various places, and I'm sure you know exactly where those are, that you can address those going forward. But within particular tempi sections of the piece, I would encourage you to think about consistency through those parts. As it gets more difficult, we tend to slow down a bit, and then as it's easier, we tend to speed back up and that kind of thing. With romantic music, that might almost fall into the character, but we want to make sure that that's not simply a technical issue as you play. I would also encourage you to project and create that warm sound through nice vibrato. But my main point as a conductor, I'll tell you, I'm a horrible pianist, so I don't have the ability to do what your accompanist did. But as a conductor, I love to feel as though I am your pianist, that I am your collaborator. And as you make communications, as you move and your body language, you have a lot of swaying as you stand. But as a conductor, I like to see someone who communicates with me and tells me where those little idiosyncrasies in the tempo and all that kind of thing are. So those are the kinds of things that I look for with a soloist. But overall, I thought it was a lovely performance, and I really commend you on the work that must have gone into such a difficult piece. So thank you again for bringing it to us.
Thank you, Scott, very much. Dickran, would you like to add something to the comments?
Yeah. Well, Ivan Galamian, many of you might know him, many of you might not. The great Armenian, American, whatever, violin pedagogue. He invented Meadow Mount and all that. He once said to me, he said, Richie, he said, if one note's out of tune, you're playing the wrong instrument.
That's
what he
harsh.
said. He said, yeah, it's very harsh. He said that to me as a pianist. I said, well, actually the piano's constantly out of tune, so I'm playing the wrong instrument, It's like, it was pretty funny. And then he talked about Jungkook Kim, who I collaborated a lot. He was on Deutsche Grammophon, and he said, Jungkook has white fire. And I knew what he was talking about, but I humored him, and I said, what's white fire? He said, it's a sound that's hot, but it doesn't burn, So regarding these two comments, I'd say we have a serious problem here with intonation. You're not playing in the center of the tone. I think you have to find that. Obviously, it's like a French horn player, that they have to imagine where that is. It's very difficult with violin and French horn because you have to imagine the note. You can't just, pianists can just go boom, there's the note, right?
And it's out of tune.
And it's out of tune anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's right. So pianists have other problems, though. Anyway, so pianists have to sound like an orchestra most of the time, So you have to imagine that. This is, you have to decide what you want to do with music. It all depends on your desires and what you want, not what you need, right? So, as someone very famous once said, if you want to play that way, it's fine, but I would say just about every note was out of tune. That's my opinion. It's harsh, but it's a harsh reality, and we live in a harsh reality world. Although some people like to think we're living in a feel-good society, but not in reality. Okay, so you have to decide. Once again, I said this before, whether you love music, but does music love you? That's another question you have to ask yourself. I think there were some good moments. I think this is possibly could be remedied, but your ear has to be trained to hear everything, every vibration, it's like a piano tuner. There's no way he can tune the piano unless he hears the beats. Okay. So I would say intonation is a major problem. I would also say that, listen to your pianist. He was fabulous. I mean, he really would. I mean, he's the iconic example of he doesn't move, but the music moves you. He doesn't move an inch, but it's all there. Listen to him, like the gospel according to whatever his name is. He's good, great. If you're working with him, he can teach you a lot if he wants to, and you can learn a lot from him if you want to. So it's all a desire. You have to desire these things. Play in the center of the note. Don't play on the outskirts of the note. It's like being in a suburb of a major city. Don't drive there. Go to the center. Okay? Interpretively, it was interesting.
And a very interesting choice of the repertoire.
I was just going to say, Anna, the repertoire is interesting. But be careful when you pick something that someone might consider a folk tune or something, because those also have to be played very well. I mean, let's put it this way. There's not anything in music that's easy. I once talked to a famous pianist who said, I don't practice at all. And I said, really? You sound that way, And so, I mean, give me a break. It's all difficult or it's all easy. And that depends on how you look at it. Okay? This is a difficult work, in my opinion. These
very virtuosic. And Russian music for violin is written in a very uncomfortable physically way. Tchaikovsky is notorious for intonation problems. So
let's treat this as a serious matter and not just, fluff it off. Like I said, it depends. If you're going to play for your girlfriend or, at a cocktail hour, that's one thing. But if you're serious about playing at Carnegie or any such place, or with an orchestra with someone as fabulous as Scott or Navart, you've got to be serious about your work. And that's all I have to say. But good luck.
Thank you, Dickran, very much. Navart, would you like to add something to the comments of the previous judges?
What can I add? He said everything.
You don't have to if you just agree with everyone.
There's nothing to say.
Come on. I will not add anything. I'm agree with Dickran and I'm agree with Scott. I think he has to listen. If he cannot himself do the pitch, the intonation, listen the piano and be together with the piano intonation. This is very important. It will help the ear. But first you must hear. This is totally different. If you don't hear, even piano cannot help you. That's what I wanted to say. But the piece is very difficult. Very. Play Russian folk song is very difficult. I only want to say something. In Russian folk songs, the slow part is not moving. It's going straight like this. And there is only the shadow of the movement that you cannot see. The shadow. Yeah, it's going straight like this. This is very difficult, even for folk singers, Russian folk singers. Yeah, That's why the intonation must be exactly perfect, which is very important.
And
luck.
very hard, yep. Thank you, Nvart. Giacomo, would you like to add anything to the comments?
Yeah,
Please.
yeah, I really appreciate the comment of Nevart. She put a light on the phrasing of the piece. First of all, I want to say this piece is extremely difficult, also musically. It's a Fantasia. So Fantasia, it's very, very difficult to find the continuum line within the piece, between the expressive part and the virtuosistic part. And beside the remarks that every one of you have done, I pretty agree with, there is the problem. I didn't find the line of the music, which is very, very difficult to find, a continuum of the music, because there is now an expressive part, then there is a virtuosistic part. The intonation problem, I spot the words one in the high notes sometimes, and in other, first of all, we start criticizing him a lot. I think that there is I find an instinct of expression, so keep on going, man. I think if you work very hard, you can fix this. Another thing that, so I had to add to the pile here. But anyway, I found also the quality of sound of the double stop was kind of harsh, which
That's right.
it's not an easy instrument. I'm learning it now, by the way. I don't know if you guys know. I'm learning violins. I took 1 year of violin lesson, and you say They say relax. How can you relax? You are like this. You relax. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It is not a natural. It is not a natural position, huh?
It's very relaxing. This position is. I never found a position more relaxing than that. So anyway,
Your neck is going to give you problems.
yeah. So anyway, yeah. Keep on going, and go piano. That's what they say to me also when I practice. I say, but I've already perfect pitch. Why should I? No, do it. Go to the piano, play the note, and then play. Okay. So now, okay. Yeah, this is yeah.
So then you make the adjustments, yeah?
Adjustments.
Adjustments, yeah.
Adjustments.
Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an endless process. Very, very challenging one, especially when applied to the music was written in such a patchy way. You have to go from lyrical section immediately change to virtuosic sections, and the Russian music is notoriously difficult for both the technical side and to expressive side, and of course to keep it together. It's so like a puzzle. With many patchy sections, it's very difficult finding the tempos which correspond with each other and the flow of the piece, the story behind. So it's an extremely challenging piece you've chosen, and this is a great ambition which I would like to support and applaud to. Thank you very much for being part of our auditions. We will be inviting our next candidate on stage. Anastasia Chin will be performing Mozart Fantasy in D minor, currently number 397. Anastasia, the stage is all yours. Welcome. Bravo, bravo. Wonderful, what a refreshing edition of this very famous fantasy for piano. And it's so lovely to hear it on a completely different instrument, maybe quite a bit more authentic. To the judges now, let's start with Dickran this time.
Yeah, Anastasia, you're an incredible artist. I've always loved your playing. I know her playing quite well. This is an artist who, first of all, her piano playing, her harpsichord yesterday, and then this was a forte piano, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, what she did was I played one of those things once. They're impossible. I mean, I just wanted to completely puke after I got through with it and walk off stage, and I went to the bathroom and I just banged my head against the wall. I mean, what she did was literally impossible for me. I can't even imagine playing the forte piano, knowing the forte piano like I had to learn it, you know. This was an amazingly miraculous performance. I was like just completely flabbergasted. I don't even know what to say. You make the right sound at the right time. You feel everything. There are no words for your playing. It's just sensational playing. Sensational in every way. I don't know. You can ask me anything and it's always going to be a rave. Like your barcarolle. I mean, I can still get that barcarolle out of my ear. Fantastic, interpretation, execution. But this fantasy is hard on a regular, modern day instrument. Just like the C minor fantasy, that most people play before the sonata, the C minor sonata. But it requires a great deal of interpretive power, and you have it. You're a real master of you captured my imagination, of what I thought is possible with this piece, and what you did with the piece went beyond, in some ways, what I thought could be done with the piece. And of course, your execution is, if anyone's played the forte piano, they'll realize this was an exemplary performance. Even from those piano forte experts,
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
it's a
phenomenal.
very different instrument. I've played
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, just to start with, the keys are a different size.
Oh, don't even talk about it. It's a nightmare.
And you're really a master of this. Okay, well, let's see. Giacomo, would you like to add something to the comments?
No.
Yeah. That's my boy. I like that.
I mean, you talked so much before, so now I had to keep silent. So,
no, but wasn't it phenomenal? Yeah.
I found the thing I was talking about before, about the violinists before, the continuity of the piece. For sure, here there was the continuity of the piece from first note to the last note. I was surprised with the sound of the forte piano, which is probably more proper for the composition. Can you tell me what's the range of? I never played a forte piano. Of a forte piano is like the same range of a pianoforte or of a regular piano, or?
It has 5 octaves, so
only 5 octaves. Okay.
Yeah, so the F, that is the lowest note in Mozart works, to the high F.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I actually now remember. You now that you say that one of my first piano teacher had a forte piano in the studio there, and now remember that it's a different instrument, and. I got a little dizzy with the allegro at the end, so you added some notes there.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
And I'm telling you why I got a little dizzy, because when I was getting lesson from Aldo Ciccolini, was one of my piano teacher, and if I was reading a note a little different, I say, no, that's wrong. Okay, so now I found that recently it's on fashion to embellish the music like that, and it's beautiful. because it's coming from a place of creativity. So, but yeah, congratulations. It's very, very fine playing.
Thank
Bravo.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Giacomo. Nvart, would you like to add your perspective on this?
No, I'm not, I have nothing. I have nothing to add. It was very, very good, very beautiful. But I have a question to Alexandra. Yesterday you play. What is it? What did you play yesterday on the
Oh,
harpsichord? Kupran, yeah,
Louis
Kupran.
Couperin, yeah.
Yeah, Kupran, yeah. Today is Mozart on a pianoforte. I have just a question because I'm very curious. How do you make the difference between playing Mozart romantically or classically on the fortepiano?
I think for me, I go with what is rhetorically effective. So I think how I see it is I need to communicate these ideas to the audience, and I need to sort of phrase things in a way that they sound like sentences and thoughts, maybe a little bit of arguments here, maybe a little kind of parenthetical comment over there, that kind of thing. So I have the idea of like what's classical in my mind, but that's not as important to me as making sure that the music communicates and speaks and is effective. So
What a
like,
fabulous answer. And Anastasia, I want to say what you just said in words really comes through your playing, very agogical playing and very speech-like. That was my impression. My goodness, it sounds like there are words to the melodies the way you played.
I mean, the instrument kind of helps you because it doesn't sustain as long, and the initial attack is very quick. So it's very easy to make these sorts of tiny little articulations that sound like words or inflections on the instrument. So that's part of it too.
Don't blame the instrument, blame the artist. Blame the artist. Some people might find what you just described about the instrument is not helpful, but an obstacle. You turn it into a creative tool. That's my opinion. And by the way, I'm not on the judging panel, so you can just disregard everything I say. I don't count. Scott, do you have something you would like to add?
Well, again, like everyone else, I'm not sure I can add anything to it. The performance just spoke for itself. I mean, as someone who is not a pianist, I have to say it made me feel incredibly unworthy, to be honest with you. My chopsticks is on point, but my variations on chopsticks is where you lose me. So what you were doing, it's just incredible. So musically sound. All the decisions you made, I felt like were so historically based, and yet at the same time, you allowed, and I'm sure in your other performances as well, I didn't have the privilege of hearing that, but you allow the piano to be your voice. I love that what you said a moment ago about the piano and language. And speaking, you allow the piano to truly be your voice. But as I listen to players, I just jot down bullet points, and I want to tell you what I jotted down. Sensitive touch, technically sound, expressive, and here's the one that really moves me, to be honest with you. I know that an incredible amount of work went into the preparation of this piece, and no doubt all the pieces that you prepare, but you made it seem so effortless. The musicality of it just took away any thought that you could have fooled me, and I would have no idea that you worked so incredibly hard because you made it look so incredibly easy. And the greats do that. So I think you have the potential to be in that category. So bravo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anastasia, for bringing this beautiful piece and a very refreshing sound, and for your artistry, and for really communicating like a great speaker to us through your fingers and through your instrument. It's a great pleasure to and honor to present you on our auditions. We'll say goodbye to Anastasia, and we'll be inviting on stage the next candidate. And I'm reminding everyone we are in the session 3 of colORCHESTRA and Carnegie Auditions, and musicians are these are the finalists of the auditions, which had been going on for months. These are the final stage of auditioning for the privilege to be invited as a featured soloist with many orchestras worldwide, and on the stage of the Carnegie Hall in the season 24-25 and 25-26. And our next performer will be Felix Suhr, performing Mozart Concerto in A major, Carl number 414, and we'll hear the complete concerto. Welcome on stage, it's all yours.
goodness.
What? You first.
Yeah, what was it? It's incredible. It's amazing. It's great. It's wow. He's very good. I don't know how old he is, but it seems he's very young.
How old is this guy?
We don't have any age restrictions, so
Okay,
no disclosures.
Okay,
No
but
disclosures?
We comment on the artistry.
okay.
Okay, then he was
So,
2 years old.
I don't think so, but he's really very good. He has a very strong techniques. He made the difference between right and left hand. So you hear everything is very transparent, and he filled harmony. The beginning of the second movement, all the harmony was he put together as a choir, yeah, as a chorale. Very good. What I like very much, he played Mozart. I think Mozart wrote this concerto when he was very young. So it's full in the classical style, and he played that without any romantic approach. It's clear. It's going straight down in the tempo. Very good. But there is one thing. I understand that he's very young, normal. His heart is beating very fast. So for young musicians, it's very, very difficult to keep the tempo. When I say keep the tempo in the team, in the first team, for example, the end of the phrase is rushing. When the team is repeating, the repeat is also the same. So this is one thing. I think with the age, it will become older. It will change. Normal, yeah. He masters his hands. This is very good for his age, and I feel that he hears the full harmony of the piece, and he has an approach of the concerto. He didn't play with a piano accompaniment, but he played with an orchestra. Yeah, so he mastered all the thing. Even when the pianist at the beginning and at the end of the concerto played faster, you don't know why and how, but he kept the tempo and he went through head. It's very good, really very good. I liked it very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Dickran, would you like to pitch in your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I mean, a performance like that, what's great about it is it poses so many questions rather than answers. I mean, he's just on the very positive side. It's like God is speaking through this little kid, you know. It's really amazing what he has to say and how well he says it at this point. Obviously, he's very young, and he has this, he's a real showman. And
that's right.
I mean, it's their thing. Yeah, what comes to mind is Abraham Lincoln's quote is, "He who has the heart to help has the right to criticize." Okay. This is true of all criticism. That's the problem with critics. They don't have a heart. You know, I mean, some of them probably do, but most of them don't. They're so impressed with what they're saying and their voice, and you know, it's just all this garbage coming out most of the time. And even when they rave, they don't know what they're talking about. And when they're criticizing, they definitely most of the time don't know what they're talking about. What this artist poses is this eternal question: what is art? You know, this guy really is speaking to a higher authority. He's not playing to the gallery, even though he looks like he might be playing to the peanut gallery. He's in another world, and there are good and bad things about being in another world. You know, you can't just be in your world. You have to be in all worlds. There are so many things. He's so phenomenal that he can be so much more phenomenal. I mean, he could be, I'm not going to say what he could be, but it's quite extraordinary. He challenges the very form of music itself, and then he brings into question, what can I do to make it better? So there's so many things about, what is his name?
Felix Suhr. Felix Suhr.
Felix, like Felix the
Felix.
cat? Oh, Felix. Okay, excellent, Felix. Well, I hope you're listening because, I mean, I don't have the time to, none of us have the time to go into the detail that we want to go into, but
Of course.
I'll try to make it short. Number one, within the quavers, he's rushing. For example, I've played this concerto 100 times, so forgive me, I'm being kind of personal with it. I've gone on tour with it, and you know, it's an intimate piece, but nevertheless, it was phenomenal. I mean, why would he set this gorgeous thing up and then to shift the accent to the second note when it's yadum, badum, beadum, badum? You've got to pull off what Mozart wrote. You can't just make some, oh, wow, that's too hard, so I'm going to do it a different way. The other problem is the trills. He's stressing the auxiliary notes and not going to the principal note. He's going like, it's like in the Pathétique. Yeah, you can make it easy by going instead of that's the way it should be played, because the principal note is what we want to hear. It's like someone trying to make all these passage works and all of this bridge material musical when the only musical thing is getting to the destination and then taking time. Now, it's a profound question, what is auxiliary and what is principal? But he raises that question by playing the way he did, okay? And there are many opinions on this very subject. What is important? What is sub-important? It's very clear to me what should be done. For example, he opens the second movement with no motion whatsoever, and then he does this glorious thing musically and moves something. Every note has to belong to another note. It's married to that note. He played the opening da-dee-da. There's no relationship there whatsoever. He's a young pianist and everything, but he has crystallized his ideas. He's such a genius that he really believes this is the way it should be done. And that's very admirable. But no, music is forward motion at all times. It's horizontal. It is not vertical. That's why I argue with conductors all the time. Forgive me, you three conductors. They want everything lined up, some of you. No, it's going to be lined up if you feel it together. If you feel the music, it's going to be lined up. If you don't feel the music, then we're forever trying to be together, okay? So, it's like Anna said, there was an artist recently who tried to fit into some conductor's downbeat. She said, no, man, just run away with it. Run away with it and let them catch up and let the concertmaster follow you or something. I mean, it's obvious he's not hearing what you're doing. So this is not true of all conductors, but it's true of some conductors. But I'm not here to crucify conductors. I'm here to question, what should we do? Okay, the opening of the slow movement. It's got to move. It can't be three pillars of sound. Those harmonies don't make any relationship to each other unless they're related to each other in the execution of the phrase. Okay? So many other things. He's got to work on his trills. They are absolutely an abomination to his genius that he sets up. He needs to do with 1-3 or 2-3, even 3-5, but his 1-2 trill is just not going to work in Mozart. It's got to be a tight classical trill with lots of notes in it. None of this, like Anna's trills in the Archduke. I'm sorry, I'm just bringing up. Hers are so stupendous, I don't even know what to say. They have to be tight, and they have to be musical, and they have to go to the principal note, and they can't be hung up on the trill itself. I'm hung up with every trill he does. He also doesn't play the last movement. There's a ba-da-dum at the end of all of those. He's faking all of them. Okay, they're all faked. And this goes to what's important. He does raise the question. Brendel told me once in the Brahms B flat, oh, just fake it. He said, fake it. This is all effect, fake it. I said, excuse me, maestro. There's no faking in music. I mean, this is the eternal question. Should you fake the double thirds in the last movement, or should you try to play them, or should you find a way to make them sound like thirds and get the color that Brahms wants? These are all questions. This kid raises many questions. I mean, it's pure genius. But I have many things. I have many problems with his playing, but it's sensational playing. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Dickran. Wonderful. So let's see. Scott, would you like to add some of your perspective?
Yes, thank you. I'm glad that Dickran's not here to crucify conductors. I was starting to feel a little threatened there for a moment. No, I agree.
No, I love your work, Scott. It's great.
Thank you so much. I agree with both of the perspectives that have come. It's an incredibly expressive and explosive performance at the same time, and it's but at the same time, we're all musicologists to some degree, and we have to look at things from a historical standpoint. And I can see some of what Dickran is saying as well. I think we've talked. Both panelists so far have mentioned the youth of this performer, but I think in many ways this young man is an old soul, and I think he will get those things. They'll come to him with age and maturity and perspective and all that kind of thing. But I think the dynamic shadings and things like that were just exquisite in many places. I noticed a few places where there were inconsistency in tempi, particularly in the third movement. Those kinds of things were happening, but overall, he was just so fully engaged in his performance and his idea of what he wanted to say through Mozart. That it was kind of awe-inspiring to watch a young player like that. And I think he has amazing potential. I think just some of that maturity as it comes to him, and he studies more, not necessarily the technique of the piano, but the study of genre and historical period and all that kind of, I think it will benefit him greatly, and then he'll benefit us greatly through it.
Yeah, thank you, Scott, very much. Okay, Giacomo, let's have you do the conclusion to all the
so the age of the pianist is a secret. So
you can guess.
So
forget the age. Forget the age.
Forget the age.
No, okay. So I assume his age was 9 or 10. Because he looks like 9 or 10. I think his playing was fantastic, especially considering the age. Okay, so I'm not going into all the detail like Jack was doing, but
Jack?
Who's Jack?
Who's Jack? Yeah.
It's Jack? It's you. Okay, so it's not me. It's you. Okay. So anyway, okay. So his playing was fiery. It was full of fire, and I really liked it. I really liked it. And I agree with sorry, I don't remember. Nvart?
Nvart.
No, Nvart. Okay, so I hope I pronounce well your name. Okay. I agree with her that the way he was playing, he was like playing with orchestra. He was like projecting, like you would solo with an orchestra. He was not even considering a second piano there. He was thinking about the orchestra. The consequence of that is the little criticism I have about his playing is there was no, especially when it was solo without the orchestra, he could have used more delicacy and more Mozart phrasing. So find a more lighter sound, more expressive sound in the phrasing of Mozart. I missed that part of Mozart playing that was not there. But otherwise, the rest is genial. It's great playing, great playing.
Thank you very much. Felix, I hope you're enjoying watching the comments and find them very helpful to take with you into your further development. And there's praises. You were called by a couple of the members in the panel as genius. And I want to just add my little comment in here. To me, the most powerful thing in this performance was the engagement. That word came up too. Absolute, consistent, unwithering engagement of this young performer in every note which he played and every note which his collaborative pianist was playing. And that's incredibly the key to going sky high, and there's no limit to your developments. Felix, you're phenomenal. Thank you all very much. And we will be inviting on stage our final performer of this session, the third session of the colORCHESTRA and Carnegie auditions for the upcoming seasons, to perform at the Carnegie Hall with 2 orchestras for next season and with many orchestras worldwide. Please go to our websites and check out the next season's offering, which we have in stock for aspiring performers and composers as well. So our next performer for this session is Irina Khodossevitch, pianist, and she will be presenting the Rachmaninoff's Piano Concerto No. 2, first movement. Irina is performing live from her own location. This is a very courageous act of the artists to step on the newly invented virtual stage today. Thank you, Irina, for doing so, and the stage is all yours. I apologize. Sometimes settings in the performer's microphone and the settings change. And Irina was, her tech was sounding a lot better while she was in the green room. So we're going to ask her, I hope, Irina, you can hear us. that we will present your performance one more time. And right now, we would like to invite you to please go to the green room so that your settings can be rechecked. Sometimes when you enter the actual live broadcast studio, you need to carefully go through the steps, which our technical support people tell you. And that's no problem. We will just make a few announcements while Irina gets her tech checked, and we bring her back for this performance. We really want to enjoy it in its full potential. So these are auditions. I'm just reminding everyone who is watching, these auditions happen live. And as everything in life, things happen. So we are auditioning throughout this whole season, throughout this whole weekend. We started on Friday with a session 1, and we are in a session 3 right now. These auditions are designed to provide an opportunity for musicians who are aspiring for development of their art, and especially for development of their career. So we are providing opportunities for musicians to be featured soloists in the concert season at the Carnegie Hall. Next, in 2024-25, we have 7 concerts which we present at the Weill Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, and there are 2 orchestras which are participating in those concerts. We have today with us the music director of New York Chamber Players Orchestra, Maestro Giacomo Franchi, who is a member of our distinguished panel of the judges and providing comments to the candidates. On Friday, we had the music director of the Orchestra Manhattan, Maestro David Wroe, who was also providing comments and his recommendations to the candidates. These 2 orchestras are part of the season at the Carnegie Hall. We also have colORCHESTRA season. As you see on the screen, we have many orchestras which joined the colORCHESTRA since its inception 3 years ago. We're very proud to welcome the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and many other orchestras which are joining us for the coming season, and the music directors of those orchestras and the presenters of those orchestras are considering these candidates for the wonderful spots in the concert season as being featured soloists, as well as composers are invited to submit their scores for those auditions, for a potential for their works to be presented by these wonderful orchestras on these incredible stages. In addition to that, for the Carnegie auditions, we have different programs. Those are programs, of course, for soloists who want to perform with orchestras, as well as wonderful conductors, but not only, also musicians who want to present a solo repertoire are welcome to apply for those auditions, as well as chamber ensembles and large ensembles. And we have a concert coming up where we will be presenting 2 large ensembles alongside with the soloists, small chamber ensembles and others. We are presenting those auditions on the virtual stage. This is the virtual stage, which has a potential to reach audiences beyond the borders of countries, continents, and so forth, because those are internet TV broadcasts which are brought to everyone who has access to the internet, and that's the entire world. So we're reaching to the audiences in every pocket of the world through video platforms, social media platforms, as well as many curated music performance platforms, which are curating their content and providing only the content which they approve to their own audiences in many countries in Europe and Asia, in the United States, Canada, and just every part of the world. We also collaborate with many educational organizations and platforms which are helping musicians grow through giving them access to incredible libraries and collections of the master courses and master classes, and as well as opportunities to perform. So here on the screen you see many logos of the organizations and companies around the world which have since the beginning joined our initiatives and participate in many of our projects. What I want to point out and bring to your attention, we're so used to seeing the logos of companies and perceiving them as just some entities. What's very important in this collaboration is the people behind those little pictures and logos, those are passionate supporters of the arts and passionate doers, go-getters, people who really work very hard in devising and creating newer and more effective stages and ways for artists to connect with the audience, with each other, to find collaborations, to find a way to present their art on their own terms in the way which they want the music to be seen. As we see through those auditions, there are no age limits, there's no restrictions to the repertoire. Every artist is invited to present themselves on their own term in the way they see themselves as an artist on the stage. And we have musicians from different backgrounds, from different countries. We presented in those auditions artists who were performing in the classical style of their ethnic cultures and instruments, as well as traditional classical instruments and singers, instrumentalists and singers, and many others. And we're very, very proud of our programs also for living composers with a Leonard Quartet and many orchestras. You might think that living composers have very limited outlets because so much support goes to the proven classical repertoire. That is not so. The audience is always very interested in what's written nowadays, and the performers, the orchestras, the presenters are very interested in the new music, as we are finding out through that incredible support which our programs are receiving from all over the world and from different organizations. So don't be intimidated. Put yourself out, bring yourself on stage, bring your art on stage for everybody's enjoyment. It's not all about judgment. It's also about being together in this great art and joining our hearts in love for music and in love for beautiful communication with each other. So at this point, I think Irina is getting her computer and her microphone all checked and ready for the performance. She's the last performer of this session, but that's not the last session. Tomorrow, Monday, we will have more sessions, and we have some incredible music in stock to present tomorrow. We'll have a guitarist performing new, more modern composition. We'll have a pianist, a flutist. We have some concertos. We have vocalists performing arias from various operas. We have a cellist, and that's just tomorrow. And we have in the last session tomorrow afternoon, we also have a cellist, saxophone player, oboe, piano, clarinet, and these are people presenting music from a Baroque period through classical, through romantic, through modern, and of course contemporary music as well. Now let's see if I get as soon as I get the signal from our tech crew and our directors that Irina is ready to take your stage, I'll stop talking and you'll hear some more beautiful music. Let's see a quick presentation of how these all projects started with just one seed about 4 years ago, just before we branched out and grew into so many different directions and so many different programs.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
All right, and I get a thumbs up from our team of producers and directors that Irina's tech is ready for presentation, and we will be enjoying the Rachmaninoff's Concerto No. 2 in C minor. First movement. Irina's stage is all yours. We're eagerly awaiting your performance. Thank you, Irina. Thank you, and thank you for your patience working on the tech and making sure we can present you in the whole glory of your performance. Let's see, Scott, would you like to take the stage first?
Certainly. I'm interested to hear what the pianists on the panel have to say as well. But first of all, I want to say congratulations on the performance and particularly on the courage to do this live. We hear many recordings, but to do this live it takes a special kind of courage. I appreciate that very much. I think overall it was a wonderful performance, and I appreciated the technique. There were a few moments where I felt a little rushed in it, but not overly so, not to the point where it was distracting. As a non-pianist, it's difficult for me to judge, but as a conductor, I sense
And that's what
that,
we want to hear. We want to hear an opinion of a conductor.
Right, yeah. As a conductor, I sense from your performance that you are a very collaborative type of performer, someone that you know, as a conductor, I want to feel as though I am your accompanist with the orchestra. So we have a lot of added moving parts when we put the orchestra together. And I sense that you're the type of performer that likes that collaboration between conductor and pianist as well. I mean, overall, I thought it was a wonderful performance. I don't have a terrible lot of criticisms, but thank you so much for the performance.
Thank you very much, Scott. Well, let's hear from the pianist. Dickran, would you like to comment on this?
Yeah, it's very good. I enjoyed the performance, and it was interesting to me. I really liked the opening because very few people, I like the big hands, you know. Very few people can play it without breaking it in some way, rolling it in some way. The eternal question is how to play it. And of course, you solve that problem by just playing it. And so that was great. And the other great thing is your F, your low F, was always related to the next chord, which I really like because most people play it like pillars of sound. We've talked about this 100 times. Yours was very vocal, you know, very linear. Beam, boom, beam, boom. You know, you moved it. Very nice. But at the end of it with your boom, 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 ba-dum, that was not in keeping with the opening. So if you're going to move it in the beginning, you need to move the A flat F G to the C minor tonic more. I wouldn't say quick, but you know, it needs to be in character with what you've set up. So be careful for what you pray for. You know, you've set up this gorgeous opening and then you've got to follow through. And I would do a quick yadam, you know, instead of delaying that grace note. It is a grace note after all. Now, the next section, I'm not going to do every section, but you know, I would like, you played every note, but I would like to hear them. Not just the bass notes, you know what I mean? Because you're playing them, but I think with the orchestral color that's going on there, with this bearing down on the theme, I can see these Russian guys just going nuts on that theme. You know, you need to, you know, let's hear all of those notes and all of the colors that they're suggesting. I think he wrote a phenomenal opening in that way, you know, much more desirable to me than the third concerto, for example, because he reversed it. In the beginning of the third, you have the simple theme in the piano. Here you have all the notes in the piano, and then the theme is in the, you know, in the orchestra. I think it's interesting. And you certainly, again, like the last performance, you provide a lot of questions. And then you go into the, I would be careful when you go yum, you know, that big passage right after the melodic stuff. Make sure you don't pedal too much and keep that in the tempo that you've set up with that G A flat theme, you know, da dum, da dee da dum, da dum, you know. It should follow through. That's my only criticism in a way, is that you juxtaposition two different tempo characters all the time. You set yourself up for a phenomenal ending or whatever, and then the ending changes and you slow down or you speed up. You know, it needs to be a little bit more homogeneous, I think. Now, regarding your themes, I think you should move them to the downbeat. You're delaying the downbeat constantly throughout this movement. Constant. You're going da da bum dee dum bum, because maybe the passage is difficult or whatever. I'm not sure, or that's the way you want it. You can't let anyone know these melodic problems because of all the crazy notes that Rachmaninoff writes. It just has to be there. Okay, so get to the downbeat, then take your time, and then go on. Or the third beat in the fourth, in a 4/4 measure, you go to the third beat, you delay that too. And sometimes you delay every beat, so don't do it. For filigree, for difficulty, for any reason, it's not musically satisfying to delay all of those pillars of downbeats, or beats. I should just say beats.
Thank you very much,
don't change
Dickran.
tempo too much.
I don't mean to cut you off. We have the next session coming up in
all right.
the short 20 minutes, so I don't mean to race, but let's
No.
give
Cut me off. No
a
problem.
little bit of more time so the rest of the members of the panel can also pitch in. Giacomo, would you like to add your perspective?
Yes. Now, Dickran will get upset, but I don't agree with one of the points that he say.
Oh, that's terrible.
Let's start with that. I think the beginning, I find it more doing it more solemnly instead of phrasing it. That's my taste. I'm not saying my taste is right, the other taste is wrong. But I prefer it like a boom, boom, more solemn, more, solemn, majestic. Like, beside that, I agree with the other thing that you said. I forgot to congratulate Irina on a very difficult concert. That's not easy to play, and you did a very, very good level playing. I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the
Very
other,
good.
yes, the other thing, in this case, I agree with Dickran, is maybe too much pedaling, and these runs, they get a little blurry. I remember we have had a discussion with, bring up again, my illustrious teacher, Aldo Ciccolini. We were in Rome and listening to someone playing Rachmaninoff. And I say to him, but you didn't think he put too much pedal there? And he say, but that's Rachmaninoff, you know. So
Play Rachmaninoff.
yeah, it was like it's like that. But then if you hear him playing the second Rachmaninoff concerto late in his life, it's incredible, crystal clear, like it would be Mozart. Incredible clarity. I love that play, not because he was my teacher, but
No, he's a great pianist.
I don't know if Dickran you have listened to his late playing of Rachmaninoff's second. I never find anything better
Oh,
than
he's a
the
fantastic pianist, no doubt.
incredible.
Hands down, incredible pianist. Yep.
Yeah. Congratulations again. We have to go.
Thank you, Giacomo, very much. Bart, I would like to invite you.
Yeah,
And
only
yeah.
only
ahead.
one thing. The beginning is a Russian church clocks. It was really sounded like that, and each time clocks come back, it's going bigger, 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 bigger. It was very good, really. On a small piano like that, it sounded. So I imagine how it will sound in a big piano, yeah. But she has a very good techniques. But I wanted here Rachmaninoff is in symphony or symphony dances. The theme is going like this down in the in the dynamic, and the other one is beginning. I want to hear that. You lost that. I think you can do that. It is just a conception. It is Rachmaninoff. It's going like like waves. Yeah, one is finishing and the other one is already begin. So I think you can do that. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much, Navart, for your comments. And Irina, thank you very much for bringing the wonderful the Rachmaninoff second concerto. Definitely every pianist and every conductor is one of the favorite pieces to present your beautiful playing. See, it inspired the judges to go into a really in-depth discussion about it. Thank you very much. With this, we will be saying goodbye to wonderful candidates who were presented in this session. We have the next session starting in just 20 minutes. So I want to thank the judges. We'll see you in 20 minutes in the next session. We have some great music coming up. And I want to also thank very much our wonderful Virtual Concert Halls team. These are musicians, professional artists who also bring up this system and those abilities to broadcast live music through the internet TV systems. You see the portraits of these people. These are incredible colleagues, and I'm very, very grateful. And today's team, the Ante Božič-Kudrić, the director of the show, James Welch, producer of the tech checks on the back end, and Frane Rusinovic, our technical director and coordinator of all these efforts. And again, these are concert artists, educators, and your tech team supporting your performances on the virtual stage. Thank you all very much. I'll see you in just a few minutes. Bye.